Hello, this is Brandon Ellis with Elitech. Thanks for joining me for this video. In this video, we're going to establish a connection between our Workbench software and our Data Commander MES Gateway appliance. And so what I have connected is my laptop is connected to the Data Commander via a standard Ethernet patch cable. It doesn't have to be a crossover cable, though it could be, but it is connected and connected to the ETH0 port, which is clearly marked on the Data Commander unit. Now, the ETH0 port comes set from the factory with a default IP setting of 192.168.1.68. And so those first three octets, we call them, the 192.168.1 portion of the IP address, is what we want to make sure that our laptop or PC matches in order to establish the initial connection for the setup. And so I want to just delve into that a little bit before we get into our software inside of Windows. I want to show you how that is quickly and easily set up. And so I'm running Windows 10, so I'll use some of the shortcuts here, but ultimately we want to get to the Network Connections window. And that can be done on any Windows platform by simply accessing the Control Panel and referring to the Network Sharing Center and ultimately Network Connections. But in Windows 10, we can simply click on our Connections icon in the taskbar and right-click and open Network and Sharing Center. And that opened on a different screen. Let me pull this over. And so here we see a couple of settings. And so I am going to set up on my Ethernet connection. So I'll select that and simply select Properties. So within the Properties, we want to select Internet Protocol version 4, which is our TCP/IP v4 connection. And with that highlighted, we select Properties. Now, I've already set up my IP address for my laptop, but you might find that yours looks more like this. If you've been on a standard network that assigns your IP address to your laptop or PC automatically, this would be selected. So for the connection, we want to simply manually enter an IP address, and so we select use the following IP address and we enter in an IP address here. Again, if it's only your laptop and the Data Commander unit, then there are no other conflicts other than the Data Commander IP address. Each IP address on the network must be uniquely specified and cannot be duplicated or you'll have errors. And so we want to make sure that the IP address of the computer does not match that of the Data Commander, but that it doesn't match anything, the Data Commander or it cannot match anything on the network. So in this case we're directly connected, so only two devices, the Data Commander and my laptop, so not much danger of duplication. As long as I don't put a 68 in this digit, I'm going to put a 100, and so that's certainly different than 68. Then we click in the subnet mask, and Windows adds the subnet mask for us. This subnet mask certainly will work most of the time, so we'll just go with that. So we click OK, we close this window, and close all the associated windows, and that brings us back to our Data Commander software. So now, once our software is installed and open, which it is now, we want to select Nodes, right-click, and simply click Scan. This brings up a window here where it's going to scan on our network, of course. So we select Network, and that brings up a window with three options. Those three options are basically subnet. This gives me a drop-down menu of the current connections. This is for my wireless connection. This is for the other connection, the LAN connection that we just set up. And what this is saying is that it's going to start scanning at this address and scan up from there. And this mask, network subnet mask, basically says that it's not going to count it's not going to count up through any of the first three digits, only this fourth digit. So 0, this digit here, 0 through 255. Now, if what you need this to be set on is not there, then you get a couple options. You can select here. Of course, your computer needs to have access to anything you type in here. But if you were on a separate network, if this was not the first time you were connecting, and you needed to go to a 10.11.12.1 IP address, you would start it at 0 and scan from 0 all the way up. But basically it would look on this address, this subnet 10.11.12. And that's what you can do here if you use this option. So I just wanted to explain that. Not applicable in this case, but just want to let you know what this does. And then lastly, if you know the address of the unit that you want to connect to, and you know it undoubtedly, then you could just type it in here and simply select scan, and it will attempt to only connect to this IP address. But in this case, I want to scan the network so you can see that demonstrated. So we're going to begin. You'll see it begins at 192.168.1.0, and it'll begin to scan upwards from there through 255. So I'll click scan. We see it counting. And so all the way up to 255, and then it closes. And of course, it found the data commander at 192.168.1.68, and with that, we are connected. The Workbench software is available for free on our website. It can be downloaded there. The website address is www.thedatacommander.com, and you can access it in our resources and downloads area. If you have any questions, certainly reach out to us, send us an email, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. Thank you very much for watching the video. Have a great day.